And I think it's very important for everybody to be engaged because that everybody's on the same page.
It's about, who's willing to change gears at the right time.
Go out, go have fun, and just take it to them.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. It's time for another edition of the Mallory Chapman Show. Currently joined by Wheeling University head softball coach Mallory Chapman. And Mal, guys, coming off a week against Fairmont and Frostburg, you take one of the weekend. Talk about that weekend as a whole and what you saw.
Yeah, it was really special this weekend. We got to honor our seniors. It was their last, home series. Frostburg on Saturday literally came out hot, hit 3 home runs in the first 2 innings of the game, which is, really awesome. One of them being Denise Curlo, one of our seniors, and Eden Troxel, one of our juniors, and then Mac. That's not a shock, but it was just really special for us to come out like that against a very good Frostburg team. They are top in the conference, and a very hard lineup to pitch to. They're insanely good. Defensively, they're really strong. So for us to be able to take a win from them on senior day it meant a lot to us and to the team, and I know our seniors. So good day to start there. And then 2 good games with Fairmont. We kind of gave them game 1, with a few errors that happened, but 2 good competitive games with them. So overall, we're pleased with how we played. Obviously, we always want to win, but we were pleased with our competitiveness and how we came out.
And you guys battled throughout the weekend. In those Fairmont games, you guys were in it all the way. Frostburg, you obviously got the winning game 1. Talk about what that shows with this young team, showing that fight and competing with everybody week in and week out.
Yeah, that's something that we talk about all year, especially with this being a younger group, is just we want to be competitive every pitch. That's the goal. And I'm just really proud of how they came out and fought. And I always tell them before the game, we are going to compete and going to fight until the game is over with, regardless of the score, regardless of who's on the field. It is our duty as softball players to go out there and just be gritty. So it is nice to see. And then, looking forward to the future, it's really good to see as far as coaching that our young girls are capable of that right now, and hopefully will continue that with the rest of their career.
And you mentioned her a little bit ago, Denise Carrillo, getting that power stroke started in that first game. Talk about what that meant to her and that leadership, how it got that team going.
That was the spark we needed. And her whole family was there to see it. She's from California, so her family doesn't get to watch a lot of her games in person. So that really made my heart happy, the fact that she was able to hit her first home run like that and to have, her parents and her sisters in the stands. I know it meant a lot to her. And it just got our team going. Denise is such a hard worker, and I think that that's part of the success that she's worked hard for, but it just showed the rest of our team that, hey, anybody can step up in a moment and be big.
And in that second game against Fairmont, Taylor Walsh gets her first collegiate start. She handled herself well in the circle, battled through some traffic on the bases. Talk about her and kind of what you saw from that first start.
Yeah, Taylor's very level-headed, and I think that makes for a good pitcher. And she understands defense as far as, she plays shortstop, she can play outfield, and she's also a good hitter. So I think that also helps her out on the mound with knowing the strike zone and what hitters kind of look for. She went out there and threw very well. I don't think we could have asked for a better game from her. With that being her first start, she handled it very well. She just has a confidence about her that allows her to go out there and throw freely. And she trusts her defense behind her, and we did play good defense behind her that day. But yeah, that was big for her. It was big for our pitching staff that she was able to step up because Riley was hurt and not able to throw that day. So big moment for her to step up as a freshman and have the ball in her hand.
Currently joined by Wheeling University head softball coach Mallory Chapman. And Mal, a lot to play for in this final week. Still alive in a very jumbled up MEC tournament race right now. Talk about this final weekend of the season and kind of your guys' approach.
Yeah, our approach is just to go out and win and handle business and like I said, be competitive. Unfortunately, the fate of our postseason really isn't up to us at this point. A lot of things have to happen, but we're still in it. And that's what I've been telling our girls. We're not done yet. That's kind of been the mantra of, practice all week and heading into Salem and Point Park this weekend is we're not done yet. So we have to continue to fight and be who we are and be present and just do what we can.
And looking at this weekend's opponents, obviously Salem and Point Park, your second meeting with these two teams this year. Talk about some of the things you learned from the first weekend against these guys that you're going to take into this weekend.
I think the biggest thing is you can't take anybody lightly, regardless of anybody's record or, good or bad. Everybody's here to play softball, and there's chips on the table. So, people are trying to come out here and take games, whether it be for their own gain or for a spot in the conference tournament. So I think right now everybody's got kind of the same mindset of go out and win. So we're going to have to show up and play our best games against both Salem and Point Park if we want to come out with a win.
And finally, last weekend of regular season play, talk about the growth of this team. Obviously, a lot of young players on this team. Talk about from the beginning of the year to now the growth that you've seen from these girls.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, I think our lineup changed every game, and that's a good problem to have because that does mean that we have a lot of depth in our on our squad. But I think it comes down to finding that core group of people who can go out there and be consistent and competitive every game. And I think we found that, and I think we've also found some things with people who can come in and pinch hit, people who can come in relief, base running, things like that. So overall, our growth has been very, very good. I'm very pleased with what we've seen from beginning of the year till now. And not just physically as softball players, but they've grown so much as people, their maturity level, the way they go about things, their approach to things. So, as a coach, there's nothing more promising than to see that, especially out of a young group of girls and some girls who, this is their first year here at Wheeling, whether they're transfers or freshmen. So I think it's very eye-opening going forward, knowing that we have built a solid foundation in our program. And so I'm just excited for what's to come.
Thanks, Mal. Good luck this weekend. Can't wait to see you out there.
Thanks, Zach.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler.
I think it's very important for everybody to be engaged because that everybody's on the same page.
It's about, who's willing to change gears at the right time.
Go out, go have fun, and just take it to them.